I started as a photographer. I was doing that stuff. I had me and the people that joined me then. The first iteration was basically a production um, company, but we decided that, why don't you do communication? So I decided to delve into communication. That was in 2019, 18, I guess. Just around the time that I made the decision, I was invited to discuss. There's this event they want to do, Love at First Seat. At the time, Skillets and Mugs, which was a restaurant in Maitama. So we did an event, like an entrepreneurship event-ish. And then I met a lady, Madam Esesua, God bless her, that invited me to this meeting at Skillets and Mugs. They said they wanted to get a certain number of people. They wanted to create awareness about the event. And then I sat down. This was around first week of February in 2018. And then I told them, okay, yeah, we can do that. And then they told me the event was the next week. So I told them, next week, what are we going to do? And I told them, this will cost you, I can't remember the exact figure, but let me say, I told them, it was, in hindsight, it wasn't a lot, but that time, it was big. So this will cost you maybe like 200 or 300,000. Yeah, I think it was about 300,000. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I'm like, what? People pay 300,000 naira for these things. So we shot an ad somewhere on the Instagram. My friend Dosen, I just got a couple of my friends because the budget was, after they paid us the money, we now realized that the budget was not enough. So we got people, sister here, brother there, and we did a really great ad for Love at First Seat. And then the event happened. Then after that, we started doing communication for the restaurants. So they were our first major clients. And they sort of just opened the doors for our the expression that we now have as communication and advertising. To be very honest, it was really interesting because, as you know, I'm a biomedical engineer by training. So coming to tell my folks that, look, I'm going to go into media after so much money had been spent on my education, I was in a phase where it's either it works or it works, right? Because my dad, he didn't say he was disappointed, but this, from their body language, you could tell, like, they were disappointed. But I remember that things started to look up. This was before this breakthrough. When I shot my first wedding, I met the couple. They asked me, how much are you going to charge? And I just said the first thing that came to my mind, 80,000 naira. And they said, so I could see the shock on their face. So the guy looked at me and said, send me your account number, let me give you advance. So they gave me 50,000 naira 3 months before the event. And as you guess, as a broke young guy, I finished the money before the event, So, but that gave my dad some sense of, confidence that, what I'm trying to do can work. So fast forward to 2018 when that happened, it was like, yeah, I told my dad, this thing can work, and if I stay at it, this wasn't like 300. At the end of the day, we didn't make any money. I wasn't even focused on profits. I was just even focused on this thing can work, So it made me feel good that my assumptions were right, and that there was something here for us to explore. What you have at Ngage Media actually started a long time ago. What you now have as Ngage Media, I started with Talk to Easy, which was a blog that I used to run. And then eventually now my partner, Mr. Louis, got in and started writing the blog with me. This was way back before. I think the only blog that existed at the time and was popular was Linda Ikeji and Diolu, some relationship blog. So we used to reach out to people who was lifestyle and relationship. And it just sort of was training us for our future, but we didn't realize it. And then somewhere down the line, I started a lifestyle show, like a business entrepreneurship show on campus called Discover. And we used to identify talents, people that had talents, and then like creative talents and people that had businesses. And that ran for a bit. It was me. So I was always just assembling people at different points. So Louis was working on the blog and part-time on Discover because he was Past that, I went into my photography. Somewhere along the line, Mr. Clement, God bless him, he relocated to Abuja, and then we suffered together. We were doing shoots. Just to say that most of the founding directors at Ngage, they didn't know anything about media. Hey, even I that founded it didn't know anything about media, right? So it was just me rallying my friends around to say, look, there's an opportunity here. Let's try something instead of just staying idle and hoping for a job. So Mr. Clement played a very pivotal role. For that particular project, not so much, right? I can't remember what had happened in 2018, I now finally moved out from my parents' house. I was squatting with an elder cousin somewhere in town. So our communication wasn't that swift. I needed that because I needed light out to do my editing and stuff. That project was made successful first, well, by God, and then secondly, it was a team effort. I can't say I didn't know so much, right? I can't say that I did a lot, but I had help from the owner of the restaurant, Mrs. Glory. I call her Mama, right? She's an amazing human being. She took a chance on me, even though, I don't know if it was clear to them that I didn't really know it, right? She took a chance on me, Madam Esesua, God bless her, Mr. Patrick, Madam Blue's husband. They just took a chance. And several other people that came together to make it work. The only thing I knew I had at that time was I had a lot of creative ideas as to how to create, awareness about the project I should run. I've always had an events brain and all of those things, and a storytelling brain. So I think that but I remember on the day of the event, we didn't think it would work. It was a speed dating event. We didn't think that ladies would sign up because it's Abuja. They're doing speed dating. This was in 2018-ish. How would people sign up? On the day of the event, there was another very Valentine-ish event. It was on Valentine's Day in 2018 that was happening that day in Abuja, equally very big. We had more females than male at the event. So that's where Mr. Clement came in, because I called him to come, and I called him to come with as many guys as possible for free. And by the way, it was a paid event, and we had more ladies than men.